So to start off, I'm gonna be blocking out the volumes with simple cubes. So I'm starting with a basic cube, splitting it in half, and then adding a mirror modifier, and then just positioning it and scaling it in edit mode. But I'm also scaling and moving stuff in object mode. I'm not too worried at this point about transform origins and origin points and pivot points and stuff like that. I'm going to reset the transforms later on anyway. So I'm duplicating also this single cube a few times and placing it in other parts just to block out the entire shape. I'm keeping it rough, avoiding going into too much detail. Once in a while, I'll also bevel specific edges, and I'm also not worrying about the topology or the edge flow or anything like that. This is where the concept phase is coming in handy. When we were concepting, we were thinking about essentially the medium and large shapes, and the shapes are relatively simple. So now when I'm placing these cubes and blocking it out, I can just do that without thinking too much about where to place them and also about the design of them, since we already figured that part out in the concept phase. We can go in detail later on, and then we don't have to rely that much on the concept anymore. But this is a part that usually takes a lot of time, and now it's going very fast because we already figured out a lot in the concept phase. And you'll see here and there I'm also adding an edge or subdividing part of the basic cube, and there's not much thought going behind this. It's basically I just need edges. I just need points, verts and edges so that I can move and adjust the shape to match the concept. It's not like I'm placing these in a specific spot to make sure I have good edge flow. The most important thing here is that we're getting through this process as fast as possible. And when you see me going into edit mode, selecting the polygons, then duplicating them and then separating them, I could essentially also just select the object and duplicate the object. But a lot of the times I work this way because sometimes I want to keep it as part of the same object instead of separating it. So again, there's no real reason why, it's just part of the process. It's what goes faster for me, and it allows me to then make that decision after duplicating those polygons. So here I'm starting on the first part of this weapon that is not angular and not a sharp object. So this is the handle. It's soft shaped. So now I'm going to go in a little bit more detail, and I'm going to start thinking about the subdivision of it. So what I mean with that is that when I add a subdivision modifier to smooth out the whole mesh, I want to make sure that I have enough topology. Again, not too worried about the flow of the topology and the loops, because it is a static object, it's not going to deform, but I just need to make sure that I have enough geometry in here that when it is subdivided, that it will maintain its shape.